Hello everyone, my name is Akai Fox, and I hope you all enjoy another installment of Mental Health Mondays with Foxnanigans.
Hey guys, Foxnanigans here again for Akai Fox's Mental Health Monday series. Let's talk about negative habits. What qualifies as a negative habit and what qualifies as just a habit that can sometimes be negative, because there are kind of differences between all of those. And often the difference is just moderation and how much something might be consuming you. So, love them or hate them, we all got a phone. And I know for a fact that myself, if I'm feeling anxious, I will scroll and scroll and scroll. And before I know it, I've gone from whatever is on the front page of Reddit to, why am I spending 20 minutes looking into the habits of ostriches and how they make their habitat? I don't know. I made that up. That's not a thing I've looked up, but you get the point. You kind of go down a rabbit hole of information that you don't need, rather than spending that time productively. But the worst case with that kind of doom scrolling, you end up with things that just make you feel worse. You end up in political issues, things that you have no control over. You end up looking at something that might have affected you in some way, or even things to do with your mental health, things that you might beat yourself up over. When we're talking about specifically the access to the whole world we have on these things, it's important to remember that and manage that moderation, because not one of us wants to be uninformed about things going on in the world, right? And we all can do with educating ourselves, not just with current events, not just with major shifts and things, even if they are beyond our control, but even stuff that affects us. I've gotten a lot of good out of looking into mental health on the internet. But what about when I spend the whole night on it? What about when I spend the whole evening going through that phone and just seeing things and making myself feel bad about my lacks of progress, about someone I may have voted for X amount of years ago, about someone I didn't vote for X amount of years ago, any number of these things. It's so easy to obsess and just become almost afraid of even failures you haven't made yet, because you start comparing and contrasting, and then everything you read, you turn into attack on yourself. That's when it becomes a negative habit. That's when you've stopped using this volume of knowledge and power that we have in our hands, and instead now it's something that's around your neck. It's something that's causing you more problems than you need. Likewise, this was just an example. I mean, like I imagine a lot of you guys here are, I enjoy the occasional video game. Way too many hours on my streaming channel. But if I'm ever doing that to the detriment of my health and well-being, if I'm forgetting to eat regular meals, I'm not sleeping correctly, I'm not taking care of my personal hygiene, then at that point, it's too much. That's what makes it a negative habit. There are some things that are just always going to be negative habits, like, I'm not ashamed to admit, if I'm nervous, I scratch my own arms. Sometimes I've been able to pull my hair, things like that. We talked a little bit about some of the strategies that I've found helpful to ground in the past. I've talked on here about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with all of your tenses. But instead, we're going to go with something just a lot more, commonplace now, and that's just finding something to do. Now I know, it sounds crazy, but I want to break it down. The hardest thing about anything productive sometimes, especially when you're in a bad headspace, is starting it. So if I'm in a bad headspace, if I'm in that negative habit, I say, okay, it's time to put this down. I can come back in 5 minutes if I want to, but for these 5 minutes, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes where I have to do X thing. In this case, maybe I'm finally going to clean up this pile of crisp bags next to my PC. That one's not a joke. It's really bad down there. It's grim. You don't want to see it. And for 5 minutes, I'm going to go and take care of that job. And I'm going to go do that as soon as we finish recording here. And then, 5 minutes after that, you've done that 5 minutes, the job's done, productivity has happened. If you need to return to something else, if you need to return to an escape, fair enough. You've kind of shown you can step away, but I bet you won't. I bet you'll say, well, I've done that, we'll tackle the next thing. Whatever it is you do, whatever it is you find to slot in place at that difficult time you've been going through, always remember to put yourself first and only do as much as you can. And that also means with however well you're feeling at that time, and that is okay. Good luck, guys. I know you can do it.